Good morning. Hello. Happy Friday morning, afternoon, evening, Saturday, Thursday, whatever. Wherever you are, glad you're here. If you're watching the replay, thank you very much. Appreciate you all the time. So, hope everybody's still surviving in this heat wave. It's going to get pretty bad here in Alabama, too. Probably heat index of 107, which heat index is so humid. Like the actual temperature is only like 94. So you're looking at massive, sweltering, wet, sticky, I can't breathe heat. No fun. Good morning, Jim. So we are on prompt number 8. We are working with green today, and we are working analogous colors. So we're going to use green and two colors to the right of it from my color wheel. So here's green. I've got blue, green, and blue. So you'd think ocean, but I'm kind of reserving that. And then it says create an ombre and decorate with black and white ephemera. So let's see how close I can get to that prompt without getting rebellious. So I have pulled out. First, I'm going to need my page from here. So let's go down to the green page. Here's the page we finished last night. Let's go down to the green page and pull this off. And I'm just trying to decide if I want to use watercolor paper or if I want to use mixed media paper. I think I'm going to use watercolor. Don't need that paper clip anymore. Those are the crappiest paper clips ever. I got them at the dollar store. So I don't advise. They pull apart too easily. Put my color wheel out of my way here. Put my book out of my way. I'm going to start with my background, and these are the stamps that I've pulled. So I've got a butterfly because I felt like a butterfly was a perfect fit for this, and I'm going to do a couple of different ones because it does call for black and white ephemera, but I also want to color one, and for that I took out my Derwents. Good morning, Reagan. And then I've got this little collection called School Desk for kind of, some just background stamping. So put those aside, and I'm going to start here with my background, and I have pulled speckled egg, cracked pistachio, peacock feathers, and I can't find a green that makes me happy with this in my inks. So I pulled out this Jane Davenport Aqua Pastel, and I may not like that either. So the only green that I have it's in the green range in my distress inks is my mowed lawn, and maybe I will go with the mowed lawn just for the heck of it. Um, so speckled eggs, cracked pistachio, peacock feathers, and mowed lawn, and I need to make an ombre. Good morning, Sean. So your color wheel, everybody's color wheel might be different, but as a rule, it's going to be green, and blue with your analogous colors, green being our primary color, which is why I need to have a green. So the green, excuse me, the green I'm looking at here, I could almost get away with a bluer green. For instance, Lucky Clover. But if I swatch the Lucky Clover, and actually I have a swatch of Lucky Clover. Let's take a look at the swatch. There's mowed lawn, bundled sage, drawers moss, peeled paint, wallpaper. Where the heck is Lucky Clover? Might be here. Rustic wilderness. Yeah, see, Lucky Clover is more of a blue-green. So I can't really get away with that. Where's mowed lawn? I think I might get away with mowed lawn. But these are inks and not oxides. So I might want to grab the oxide of mowed lawn. In fact, let's do that. I'm thinking, do I want all oxides now that I'm here? I think I do. Okay, so let's grab speckled egg. Put this one back. Let's grab pistachio. That one back. Let's grab peacock feathers. Where are you? Sometimes they're not where they belong. Morning, Christy. Okay, so since I went with the oxides, I need to do an ombre. I'm going to turn this to the side here because that's just how I function better. And I'll be stamping my butterfly and stuff on other paper and fussy cutting them out. So let me grab a couple of brushes here. I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with mowed lawn. And this is our true green, so I'm going to keep that green, and I'm going to do a little more than a quarter of it, coming lighter towards the top and darker at the bottom. So they can kind of blend together to create that ombre. Okay, and then let's move on to peacock feathers. And I'm going to need a piece of scrap here to tap off onto. I hope all is well this morning with you friends. I said I was going to tap off on the piece of paper and then ended up tapping off on my desk instead. A little darker here. Yeah, I think the mowed lawn actually does work out. Okay, I'm glad. I'm just gonna kind of clean that off and then come over here to my cracked pistachio. Which is a green, but it's kind of more of a bluer green. Morning, Jana. And then let me move on to a different brush. Clear brush. Clear that off of any excess of another blue. I don't need that anymore. It's annoying. And we'll come in with the speckled egg. I really need to re-ink that one. So we've got a nice smooth ombre here on some watercolor paper. Set these aside for just in case I'm going to use them again. Not sure if I will or won't. And let's just go ahead and kind of wipe that off. I slept until 7 o'clock this morning. I was so proud of myself because I'm kind of a 4 a.m. waker. And I did wake up at 4:30 and I just said, nope. I'm not getting up. I don't need coffee right now. See, my coffee addiction will kick in if I wake up in the morning about that time. All right, so let's get some stamping done on here. And let's grab this guy. Let's grab this little alphabet. I'm going to say this is right side up. This is an old stamp, so it doesn't have the um gobbledygook on it. Words are hard. The imprinted design. And let's grab some Ursuline Claire. Where's my piece of paper? Let's get a piece of paper down here so that I don't stamp all over my desk, forget about it, and drag my project through it. At work today? Well, of course you are, because you're a good girl. Okay. And then stamp you off a little bit. And let's grab this little guy. I need a longer. Oops. Let's just throw everything around. Here with this. I think I want the whole thing on there. Hello. Lovely's Crafting Lodge. What is your name? Actual name? Or initial in my case? Maybe I want it to come up just enough. I really kind of want that right here. Me too, Sean. I just rejoined the Trinity design team again, but I've been off and not making videos other than my lives for a couple of months whilst I went through my whole medical scare. I do want to clean this one off. It's got some very fine lines in it. If they don't have super fine lines, I don't bother. And then let's do these numbers. I'm never sure. Do I spend more time on the backgrounds or what? I really need a better situation for that over there. Let's go right here, just a little bit overlap. Sonia. Jacqueline. I don't see Sonia. Well, hi, Jacqueline. Oh, there you are, Sonia. Hi. Oh, it's upside down. Dang it, Bobby. We'll just live with it. It is what it is. It'll be mostly covered with a butterfly anyway. Okay, those I'm done with for now. Don't lose my color wheel in there. All right, now little bit of texture. Let me see, what do I want to use for texture? I didn't pre-plan this morning. I meant to, but I didn't wake up early like I normally do. So I'm kind of winging it. Maybe this one. No, that's going to take too long to dry. Oh, this one covers the whole page. I don't know that I've ever used this stencil. This is a metal stencil. I've never used a metal stencil either. Want it to kind of be evenly spaced top and bottom. Let me grab some mint tape here. Could probably, my magnet would probably really do fine here. I'm just taping that directly down to the paper there. Now I'm going to use my usual texture paste, the opaque matte, because it dries quickly. I'm wondering if I want to use crackle paste. No, I don't. Okay, that was a quick think about it. Where is my scrapey tool? I put it away this morning. There it is. I basically had time to come in here and clean up. And that also will cover most of that fiasco right there. So Mike and I were talking about going fishing, but that's out now that it's going to be so hot. Nope, that's not happening. I wonder how the stencil cleans. I'm going to let you know. I do like the size of it though. It's almost sized for journal pages. Getting low on this. I have another full one though. Oops, right under there. I don't want that. Okay. And let's tweezers. Oh, it still went under. Dang it. Let's see if I can wipe that off before I pull the stencil. We'll see if that actually worked. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna move this whole piece of paper for a second and clean that stencil off. Okay, I have a crunchy rag around here somewhere. There it is. Okay, cleans off easily, nicely. Okay, again, that's from Sweet Poppy Stencils. And I think I bought that on from Del Bello's. Del Bello's Designs or Del Bello's, their store. She sells a lot of Lavinia and similar type stuff. And I was briefly on their design team, but I was brand new to the game and I wasn't loving the format that I was supposed to do. Okay. So let's get that dry. Get my heat tool over here. I like it. I'm just going to dry it a little bit and then set it aside and work on my focal points and ephemera pieces. So depending on how thick you get it is how translucent it is. But it is an opaque, so if you get it real super thick, you're going to have super white. But I am definitely seeing translucent here, which I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, that's dry enough for now. Let me set it aside, and I want to grab another watercolor, piece of watercolor paper. See if I have any over here. Yeah, I do. This is some Tim Holtz watercolor, so it has a much smoother side than my El Cheapo stuff, and that's what I want. I am going to grab my stamp platform because sometimes I go over the lines with the Derwent, and sometimes they're not as translucent, so I like to stamp it again. So let's grab butter here. It doesn't really matter where it goes on because I'm going to be fussy cutting that out. But I think I'm going to go right there. And yeah, I leave my little squishy in there. I probably shouldn't, but I do. I don't know why I'm grabbing Versamark when I want Versatile Flare. A little bit dark. I actually don't need the first layer to be super dark because I'm going to stamp it again. So I'm going to leave it in my platform, leave the stamp right where it is, and start painting. You know what? I got dropped. I have these little watercolors, and aren't those gorgeous? I think maybe I'll play with those a minute. They're very sparkly. Let me zoom in just a little and move my camera just a little so that I don't have to be way up here where I can't see what I'm doing. Let's grab a brush. Oh shoot, I forgot to grab my cup of water. Hang on, I'll be right back. Mike distracted me when I started to go live, when it was time to go live, and I forgot to grab that. Sorry about that. Brief intermission. Okay. Get these guys wet. And so definitely I'll want to stamp over. And I may have to do a couple of coats. I don't know. You can see I've only kind of lightly played with this stuff. I've never actually spent any major time with it. It's a little too wet, thank you. Dries pretty quickly though. And this is going to give them that sort of underside glow. Yeah, aren't those, that's a great color combo. I like it. So then we want This one, I'm not going to be using the purple because it's not part of the color scheme today, although it would be really fabulous. Oh, yeah. But you can see this is not super translucent, so I want my lines back. It does dry fairly quickly, though. That's a plus. I think I hear my cat scratching at my door. She can't come in. She misbehaved last night and pooped on my bathroom floor. I don't know why. I have a little, rug that you step on when you get out of the shower, and it's just one of those lightweight loopy loop rugs. And I found it in a bundle this morning. I'm like, why is that bundled up? Picked it up, and oh, surprise! I can't deny her. Hang on. Is that you, sweetheart? Come on in. No, that doesn't mean get under my chair wheels, girly. Yep, right under my feet. Water there. Start to get too thick. I hope it stamps well. The other thing you could do if you don't want to do it inside your platform is to heat emboss it, and then that embossing will resist this paint. Well, maybe it will. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. Okay. And let's come in with this sort of turquoisey color. One thing, there's no actual blue in here. That's okay. There doesn't have to be. And anywhere there's black, I'm painting with whatever color I'm working with there. Just because, so it'll have that same kind of shine to it. Hopefully. Morning, Paula. I wish I knew my moths. I have no idea which moth is which and which ones are scary and or not. I'm afraid of a lot of things, mostly flying things. So I'm like Alicia. I'm afraid of butterflies and moths and anything that flies, basically. They just freak me out. I'm sorry. It's not that I think they're going to hurt me. It's just that they move too fast and freak me out. Okay. I think we'll get this part. This one I have to be a little bit more careful with. And I don't mind if the colors overlap each other a little bit. No big deal. And this butterfly isn't symmetrical. in its colors or its pattern, which makes it all the more interesting. Or maybe it's a moth. I don't know. I think it's a butterfly though. Hi, Paula. Okay. Well, I'm all about that teal. Let me see. Have I used this one? I don't think I have. Okay, good. It's another green. Sort of a green blue. I'll make sure I remember which color I'm dipping into. I see a little tiny gnat crawling on my water. This color is interesting how it behaves over the black versus the white. See, get out of here. Get. They're everywhere and they're impossible to swat. Okay. I don't know that I want to leave any white. Is there any color that I haven't used? I don't know that I've used this one. I might. Okay. See, I happen to think that purple would look really beautiful on here, even though it's not necessarily in the color range we're working with. Yeah, these are some very interesting. This little thing was like 35 bucks. Paint's super expensive. That was back in the day when I had a jarb and I could splurge sometimes. Okay, let's get the very edges. This light green. Thanks, Paula. I'm excited. I missed it, but honestly, the break that I took was so great for my mental health because I'm just such a scaredy cat. Everything scares me. And so it's so very hard to give your best when you are not at your best. Dun, 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 dun. Why do I have that Italian food song stuck in my head right now? Probably because I want breakfast. Gonna make waffles this morning. I haven't made waffles in months. You know how you buy a little waffle iron and then you never use it? Since our stove is broken down, I need to use my little small appliances that I've invested in. Okay, that's pretty. So now I just want to make sure it's dry, but guess what? I'm not taking a heat tool to it because if I do, we're going to have problems. So let me just kind of set this aside into another aside place. And I need to grab my other butterfly stamps. No, Cat, I'm not coming home. I don't think these are the ones I had in mind. These are actually moths. Um, let's grab this one. And these I'm going to leave black and white and fussy cut them out. We'll grab this one. Grab. I want the ones with the most contrast. Grab this one. Oh, you guys fell out. Put yourself back in there. Get in there. Well, dang it, Bobby, stay. Oh, won't you stay in the little hole? Where was this one? Right here. No, Cat, back off. Let's grab my bigger Misty, I guess. Well, what's that platform? That's my temple. Okay, we'll use that one if I can get it out without tearing everything up. And dang it. I need another paper. Okay. This is some Simon Hurley watercolor. I had put all this kind of stuff away, and a lot of my stuff is out in my shed. That magnet's in the way. Okay. This isn't my favorite just because it's so big. I wish I had one of the mini ones, but I was lucky to get this one. I think it cost me an arm and a leg because it was imported from another country. England, I think, if I recall. Yes, Paula, thanks. I reached out to Patty too, but I haven't heard back from her. She told me I could come back, but maybe she's on vacation or something. I don't know. Or maybe Simon doesn't want me back. I don't know. That's possible. He's nice and stark. Okay, that's good. That's good. Paula, I just love how you do such fancy envelopes with your cards. They're just amazing. Okay, need a rag. This one's slightly on the crunchy side, but not too bad. Where'd you go? Get. I'm gonna get that little gnat. I don't know. Cat, why aren't you over here doing your job? Getting those gnats. Ah, that'd be great. Okay. Put these guys back. Okay. This one should be dry enough to stamp now. Okay, pray that nothing moved. I think I need one more layer there. Give that a second to set, and then I'll add another layer. Oh, that is really pretty. Because a lot of what's happening here is my stamp is lifting the mica. Because it's not as dry as it should be, but that's gonna do. That'll do, pig. Now I can heat set it. Let's go ahead and heat set these, although they're probably set by now. And I don't think any of these guys are going to have their antenna because it's too hard to cut it out because I like to be right on the lines. So I'm going to start by fussy cutting these guys. And I'm cutting through watercolor, so it's heavy to cut. But I want it that way so that it's nice and substantial on my page. I don't know. I think Simon Says Stamps came out with a die set for these, but I'm not buying dies. I'm just not. Not when I can fussy cut. Now, if they come with whatever, then that's a different story. But just because I have them doesn't mean I always use them. I still fussy cut. And there's no way, I mean, some of Tim Holtz dies will get that teeny tiny space right there. But yeah, I'll draw those on or fashion them somehow. Some string, embroidery thread or something. I almost feel like this here is going to need a little bit of that shine from those paints right there. So that's what I'm gonna do in by way of splattering. Let's see. You better not poop in my closet. I felt that sweat on my face. A little bit this bluish kind of color here. Okay. I know I've got a little bit of crafty ADHD. Where'd my little moth go? There it is. Get another one. So, not looking forward to the heat wave, but then again, I'm grateful that we have indoor air conditioning, unlike some of our European counterparts who don't really need it. That, but then there's always the possibility of a brownout or a blackout. One summer it was like that, and we had to have rolling blackouts, which, you know, we'd be blacked out maybe for 2 or 3 hours because the strain on the power grid, and now we have to a data center near us, but I believe it has its own power grid from what I saw when we drove out there. So that it doesn't necessarily draw from the neighborhood. And as the crow flies, it's about 2 miles over the hill from me. But driving over there is, more like about 10 miles because you got to drive around the mountain. Um, and by the way, here in Alabama, the things they call mountains, we call hills. Those of us from the Pacific Northwest. where there's actual huge mountains. Yeah, and it's not fair of me really because I've never been, I've never driven, to the east and over, like the Appalachians, but I don't believe they are primarily in Alabama. I think they're mostly in Tennessee. What do I know though? I might not know a doggone thing. Okay, this guy. Hopefully that's dry and I don't smudge it. Yep, there might very well be a die for this one over at Simon Says Stamps. I haven't been watching Tim lately because I'm not shopping. Can't do it. And then I get a little bit jelly that, everybody being able to buy stuff. And I know that some of you know where I'm coming from there. Not only that, I just got rid of a bunch of stuff because I have too much stuff from years of FOMO. That's what I worry is going to come back. I'm going to spend money I don't really have. What is that cat doing? She runs every time she thinks I'm coming close. Oh, you've got rain, Sonia? We had it for a couple of days, but it's gone again. She's into something over there, but every time I look, she runs off. What are you into over there? Weirdo. Yeah, my ink's still wet. You can see I'm smudging it everywhere. Good thing I'm cutting it all out. Guess I better try and keep my fingers to myself here. It's going to take a while for that pigment to dry over that um, or that mica. Probably could have used Stays On. Might have been a better choice. I can't catch her doing whatever she's doing over there. Shuffling around in papers, probably. Or just batting a little piece of paper around. She loves to do that. I get her regular toys. She has no interest at all. But if I take a piece of notepad, roll it up, and throw it on the floor, she's in cat heaven. And the first cat I've ever met that doesn't even give one iota about an empty box. Like my cat Beat, if I brought a box in, it's his right now. He's in it. Stuff in there or not. Same with grocery bags. Well, but Paula, also, it's, stuff's probably way more expensive for you since you are in a foreign country. So you're gonna have to pay duties and fees and shipping and no. Yeah, no. But besides that, even like I said, even sometimes if I cut something out with a die, I'm still going to cut the white edges off. So there's that. There we are so far. Be pretty on there. Don't get me in a glitter mood though. So this week I'm going to continue working on my Tim Holtz scraps. I've got, look at this bucket so far. Dude, scram. A bunch of ephemera, tags and things like that. I'm just kind of plugging away at that basket. I probably should have heat embossed this, but the embossing powder would have also stuck to everything on here, which is not a big deal because, you know, I'm not adding any more color to it, so I don't have to worry about it. But I didn't do it because I'm a pizza roll. Almost there. And this is taking longer than painting it did. Yeah, the Sizzix ones. And I have the bugs and their dies. Oh, I should have grabbed that. Oh well, whatever. It is what it is, because I think they have a butterfly or so in them, or moth or something. These paint colors would be fabulous on those bugs. A little bit of finger action here. Okay, now it's going to be, I mean, this is an easier part to cut out, but I'm not cutting out the antenna, and I don't want to smudge this thing. So I'm trying to hold it on the edges. Okay. Let me just grab a baby wipe and just wipe my hands off. Any excess ink. Oh, hi, Cheryl. It doesn't mean anything, Cheryl. It means, food items don't have any brains. Okay. Let me move all the distractions out of here. Let me edge this, and I think what I'll do is edge this in evergreen rust. Yeah, no, not black. That was quite the jump, right? Oops, messed up there, didn't I? No biggie. Never gonna allow myself to be stressed out over art, an art journal. I'm gonna go ahead and edge the wings on these guys too, because they're white. So black and white ephemera, here's some of it. You know what I'm gonna grab next, right? It's gonna have to be some of my black and white washi. Really get in there without hurting it, and I don't want to hurt it. This, I'm going to be adding some more black to it, but not until it's in its place. And I think what I better do before I do any of this is get this glued down into the book. Because I think I want to do some up popping. Okay, green. All right, now. Better get myself in frame, huh? Yeah, it's crazy. And not fair. Okay, I've got some numbers here. I like these little numbers. And because I have a bumpy surface here, I'm going to grab a little glue, help them along. And then I have my little caution tape. I'm going to add glue to it just because washi tape isn't really built for sticking to multiple surfaces for any kind of length of time. Let's see, is there any other? I have, oh, yep, 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 yep. Love this one. Okay. Yeah, it probably did move, and that's okay because I haven't glued them down yet. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I don't want to go too crazy. And now back to auditioning where I want these guys to go. I also want to add this, and that's going to be like on a flag, so I need to pay attention to. Okay, stamp that. I think this is a big enough piece. Okay, where did I put my stamp platform? I lost it. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. Okay. Let's just move you over here for a minute. Don't lay you down on anything wet. Oh, you know what? I think I want to do white on black. So let me grab a piece of my black. Yeah, this one. Scissors. Where are my scissors? We're here somewhere. Oh, no, there. Yeah, see, that's just not, it's not fair because there are crafters, hello, in other countries. But I mean, what can I say? Nothing, because I have zero power. Well, I have a little bit of power. I have a 1 vote power, which is better than no power at all. Okay, now I need my swishy swishy tool. I need piece of paper, plain, lightweight. Need Brutus Monroe embossing powder, which is probably still here on my desk from last night. Yep. And my Versamark, which is also on my desk. One more, just for good measure. Don't touch it, dummy. Yeah, mathing is easier at 50%. You're right about that. This is the best. This paper just embosses so beautifully. That's the Tim Holtz Distress Black something or other. I forget the full name. Gonna have to find my big thing of my Brutus Monroe. Here somewhere. All right. I'm going to want some white cheesecloth. Don't fall. You're fell. Listen. Cut this out, and I want to cut that with my pinking shears. Start ends. Almost got that too close. I like these words, but I don't live by them. I'm just a big scaredy cat. I think that's going to go there. Let me get back in frame here. This is so stark black that I feel like I may pop that up. Okay, let's get these guys down. I'm only gluing their bodies because it's not a card or anything that's going to get moved around. He doesn't really have a good bending point, so we can go down pretty much most of him. Coming into the home stretch, friends. Just cut these with whatever, I don't care. I don't know if I'm going to use more of this or not. Thinking it over. Thinking it over. Just to kind of give that a little bit of I don't know, you know, texture. Yes. I decided I'm not going to pop it up though. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here, and I hope this is still good. It feels like it is. This is my Simon Hurley. What kind of paste did he call this? You guys know I'm really terrible with names. It is clogged up here, but I can unclog it. Let's put the lid on this. It's not solar paste. It's not astro paste. It's not lunar paste. It's over there. Oh, it's a Simon Hurley paste with black. I need a pen though. Pen suitable for black. That's what I'm looking for. I might have to steal one from something else. Hang on. Cat. No, I'm not going in there. Stellar paste. Thank you. There we go. What I'm going to do, make sure it doesn't have a funky edge on it, is I'm going to go over the black on this moth. I'm going to add the, not remember whose antennas look like what, so I'm just going to bake it. And yes, I realize it's sitting right down there by my feet. Can I be asked to go look there? No. Oh my gosh, you guys. What this is partly doing is it's giving it the same shade of black as this paper. Because this paper is blacker than any of the black on here. So I need to mitigate that. Because that's how kind of, I don't know, I am. By making sure that I have more of that kind of black going on the page. And this, what did she call it? Stellar paste is very, very black. So I'm just going to utilize it. Love this stuff, especially for this purpose, to create more of that intense black. Now, it's going to be a little tricky trying to do his antenna but I'm going to try it. I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to dot it on and hope for the best. I think they might have been a little bit longer than that, but I don't want to press my luck. %. Good Lord. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, 8. Oops, I need another. All right, let's clean this off. Now I can store that pin in there. I ran out of pins. My friend Chow sent me a bunch, but you know, after a while they get old and bendy and funky. So there we go. There's green for today. I've got my analogous colors, which would be the green, the blue-green, and blue. I've got my no, what would you call this? Iridescent butterfly or moth. Isn't that cool paint? It's just amazing. And then my black and white ephemera. I believe that I've covered all the prompts, friends. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me. Next week, we'll be working with blue green, which is one of my favorites. And I want to say that I may have set that up as, I don't know where the paper is. I may have set that up as complimentary because I love that combination. We already have that combination. No, I didn't do complimentary on that. Okay, great. So anyway, we've got moths, butterflies, all the colors, the gradient or the ombre that it asked for. Yeah, please don't forget to love the video with your thumb up and you know, leave a comment if you want to, if you're watching the replay. Thank you so much for being here. I may, after this dries, do some more shading in here. I always say I may do things and then I just don't do them. So, you know, I'm not going to commit to it. Yeah, share, blah, blah, blah. All the YouTubey things. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Try and stay cool if you can, and hydrated and all the things. And I'll see you next week. Bye.